What's going on, guys? My name's Misfire and welcome back. Now it's about time. It's been out for a few days and I thought we should have a look at the new Paragon 0.42 New Dawn update. Now we've been waiting for this for a while. They've been sort of releasing little bits and pieces of information, but they haven't really given us a full idea of what's going on until just before the release. And as anybody that plays the game knows, when it actually released, the entire servers were down for about 24 hours. So it didn't quite go the way they wanted to with the initial release. However, things have changed a lot. They've really sort of changed the way the whole game plays. I mean, to the point where they've virtually built a new game from the way I can look at it. We're going to go into everything in a little bit more detail, but first I'm going to give you a little overview of exactly what's changed. So in 0.42, one of the key things that they really have changed is the new card system. As you can see, you still do have your 5 affinities, and they've changed the name of Fury and Corruption to Death and Chaos. Death being Corruption, Chaos being Fury. And each card now has its own sort of style, what it does, things like that. Kind of similar to the way it used to in the old card system, but we're going to go into a lot more detail why it's so different in a few minutes. The other thing they've changed is, as well as the new card system, rather than buying upgrades for your cards, you now buy gems as well. And these fit into the 3 primary sort of areas that they feel are the most important. These are obviously agility, vitality, and intellect. Basically, these 3 card systems, gem systems I should say, are basically where everything is going to be focused. These are what you're going to be upgrading before you even get your cards, because in order to buy cards you need attribute points. So these are your 3 attributes. You've got your agility, your vitality, and your intellect, and it's entirely up to you how you do it, which ones you upgrade. We're going to go a little bit deeper into which ones do what a little bit later, but the attribute points and your gems are just one of the new things that they've added. Now all decks are completely universal. Basically you choose up to 2 affinities, so you can have a single affinity if you wish, but you can choose 2 for your entire deck, and that deck can then be used with any hero, which is obviously very, very different to the way it used to play, because with the old system it was really easy to just sort of pick a hero, right, okay, these are the only 2 affinities I can use, and you build a deck based on that. Which I like the new idea of making cards more universal, because that then gives you the ability to sort of change your hero to adapt yourself, rather than you having to adapt for that hero. So I do like that bit, but again, we're going to go into that in more detail. The mastery system is something they've really reworked. As you can see, I've got heroes at various different levels. These are all ones with masteries that I've actually got, ranging all the way down to steel. As you can see, they're all quite low down. However, when you go into them, there is now a lot more rewards and a lot more rank for playing with a single hero for a long period of time. The mastery now has a rank cap of level 99. And by level 99, I mean rank 99, because basically, rather than it just being 10 ranks for your mastery, you now have 99 ranks, each rank having 10 individual levels. So that gives you, in effect, 990 rewards per hero. The masteries do cost a lot more, as you can imagine, because you are getting a lot more out of it. But if you play the game often enough, that's not going to be a problem. Also, one of the main things that's changed is the base stats on the heroes. Every hero has had a complete rework of its base stats, including damage output, armor levels, things like that. However, one of the biggest things that they changed was across every hero, and they increased the attack speeds. They did this quite drastically, especially with some of the melee heroes. For example, Countess, I loved using her. I didn't really like her attack speed too much, but I adapted to suit it, and now, I am not joking, I would probably say her attack speed now is equal to a card and 3 upgrades. And that's the difference. So, yeah, it's quite a drastic one. Their abilities haven't really changed, but they have updated the controls to sort of suit heroes a little bit more. You do now have some new variations. Obviously, the skin variations for counters haven't really changed, but they have looked. Actually, yeah, you now have rival skins as well, which are usually like a pink or purple colour, as well as the mastery. Because of the level I have counters at, I've already got the rival skin, which I've got to admit, on counters actually looks pretty cool. I've seen some of the other ones. The gadget one is very, very pink, and it's not very nice at all in my opinion. But there might be some players out there that really like it. So that's one of the very big changes that they've made. Like I say, they have made quite a few of them. As you can see, I mean, chests, you still earn chests pretty much the same way you did before. The star system and the chest gaining system hasn't really changed. They have updated things slightly. As you can see, I've got 3 bloody keys. There are no chests, so that's a little pointless. Banners, they've included a lot more banners. As you can see, I've got the Counters Concept Art and Hero Shot banner. Both of these I earned from completing her previous masteries, so any heroes you have at level 10, look out for those. And then obviously just keep working towards your new ones. And yeah, hopefully you can have many hours of fun with those. So let's go into things in a little bit more detail, and we're going to start with the cards. And we're going to have a look at just why these are so different and what exactly is so different about them. So now, as I say, you've got your 5 affinities, which you can see across the top. And as well as those affinities, they now cost attribute points. So what happens is now, as you earn 1,000 gold, you choose an attribute point, and you then spend those attribute points on cards. However, some cards do only cost gold, ranging from anywhere between 200, and I think there are some a little bit later on. They're only 1,000, these are 1,500. I think if we go right down to the bottom, I think there are some, yeah, there you go, for like 4,000, 4,500, possibly even up to 5,000 gold. Oh, there you go, you've got one there, 7,000. So you kind of get the idea. Again, the attribute points that you have to use to spend also increase with the cards depending on what they are. The cards themselves, very, very different. Each affinity has its own sort of style of cards and sort of what those cards do, and some cards also contain their own abilities. So this is just my opinion from looking through the affinities. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but just to give you a quick overview, this is from looking through them what I've noticed. Your growth cards tend to give you a lot of armor, like basic and ability armor, a lot of regen, and a little bit of power. Your knowledge cards seem to be focused mainly around your mana and abilities, so max mana, mana regen, and ability damage. Your order cards seem to be very, very support orientated, with playing it safe and helping your allies. The death cards seem to be all about dealing damage quickly, and just sort of generally going for the kill. And your chaos cards seem to be centered a lot around overall damage to both heroes and structures, and also including a lot of attack speed. So that's your 5 affinities, guys. As you can see, they are all very, very different from each other, so be careful when you pick them. I would definitely recommend, before you even start building a deck and you go, oh, I'm going to go with these 2 affinities, don't. Have a good look through them first, because I can guarantee you'll think, oh, right, okay, so I used to use these 2. Those 2 affinities might not have been the same as what they are now in terms of what you gain from those cards. And you do sort of notice that you may end up picking 2 slightly different ones just to suit that hero and your playstyle a little bit better. For example, I have a Wraith deck, which I believe is Death and Knowledge, I think it is. So that would be Knowledge and Corruption, which is a little bit different to what he was before, because I think he was Growth and Knowledge or something like that, I can't remember. But they do now, some of them, let's see if we can find one. One's like this, Gold Mine. No, that one. Cannibalize Minion, that's an activated ability. It costs 50 mana and has a 100-second cooldown, but you can sacrifice an allied minion and regenerate health equal to 10% of its current health. So if that one has full health, then obviously you're going to get a little bit more. However, if it has virtually 0 health, then it's going to be a little bit pointless, and you're going to have to be careful with that. Some of them do have sort of passive abilities. There you go. Restore 100 mana per second for 30 seconds. Effect ends when mana is full. So that's an activated one. It's also a consumable. Now these are something that you really need to look out for with some of these cards. Some are consumable, others are cursed, like that one, which cannot be unequipped. You also have cultivate, which means gold cost is reduced by 500 with each point purchased. You also have combustible, which means the card is unequipped on death. There's a lot of different things, so you really need to sort of keep an eye out for those and be very, very careful when you're building your decks, and make sure that if you are going to go back to base, or you're expecting to die a lot, great, use one of the combustible ones because you can always re-equip it. Just bear in mind you do have to take into consideration that card's cost. So let's go into the attributes a little bit more. So as for the three attributes, like I said, you had agility, vitality, and intellect. Each of these are sort of centered around specific qualities. Anything ranging from health regen to mana regen, damage, again, health and mana regen. They do a lot of different things. I'm not going to show you all the gems. These are the slot 25 gems. So these are like when you've put a lot of points into that particular attribute. And these are the sort of things you can gain. These ones, I believe, are the sort of really high ones that give you the best things usually. I think some of them may have sort of passive abilities on them as well that might help you. You've got your critical hits, 15% chance to deal 75% bonus damage. There's a lot of different things, so I would definitely familiarise yourself with them, get an idea of what it is you're looking for, and just really look deep into it before you think about building a deck, and think about what it is you want from that deck. So limitations. So the limitations are cards, you can have up to 12 per deck. Minimum is 3. Gems, I believe the minimum is 1 or 2, up to a maximum of 6. Now, like I said, there are 3, and there are 5 primary slots on each attribute. So obviously you can't fill all of them. You can only choose 6. So really think about what it is you're going to want from it. Unfortunately, I can't actually pull up the attributes themselves unless I go into edit. Let's have a look. I should be able to get onto them here. There we go. If I just jump back one, gems. So here you can really see what those do. So these are your ones, right? So points along this attribute raise attack speed and basic defense. Points along this attribute raise health and health regeneration. And points along this attribute raise mana and mana regeneration. So obviously if you're using something like a burst caster like Countess, like I do, then intellect is definitely going to be a good one for you, and possibly even agility, or maybe I'd say vitality probably more, with a little bit of agility in there because their attack speeds are quite high anyway, but focus primarily around intellect. Whereas if you're using somebody who's going to focus more on health regeneration, such as maybe Chimera for jungling, Kalari for jungling, also ones like your tanks, Sevarog, Steel, heroes like that, then you're definitely going to want to focus a lot around that vitality just to make your tank even tankier than it already is. Question is, I've noticed Zinx can tank a lot of damage, so is that vitality going to make her even more unstoppable than she already is and make her ridiculously overpowered? That is something that remains to be seen. As you can see, it says there, minimum 3, max 6, so that tells you exactly how many you can have. And as I said before, with cards, it's minimum of 3, maximum of 12. One of the other things they included was the now, for obtaining duplicates of these cards, you can now level them up. As you can see, my Rejuvenator is currently level 5, which I did just purely to show you guys. What happens now is if you're playing in player versus environment, or PvE, then you can use your high level cards to sort of help you progress quicker in those game types. However, one thing to bear in mind is at PvP level, everything is at level 1. None of your increased levels count in PvP, but in PvAI and solo, they do. Now, we can't actually do that, so what we will do, we jump to the cards. back to, should have our Rejuvenator there, level 5. You can open that card. As you can see, it has now got a gold rim around it rather than it being just sort of basic. And you can see there it says 12 health regen and 10 mana regen for 10 seconds. Now this is the level 1 powers that it gives you. It's also consumable, so it's unequipped on use. And it would cost another 200 gold for you to get that back. However, now it's been leveled up to level 5. If I untick that, it now shows you what its current level is for PvE and PvAI. This is now 14.6 health regen and 12.2 mana regen. So that is very, very different. As you can see, it's quite the increase overall. I mean, it's 2.6 health regen and 2.2 mana regen over every second for 10 seconds. Now, I imagine that when you get each card up to, I think it's level 10 it's capped at, when you get there, it's probably going to double in power there or thereabouts, which is really going to help you out in those PvAI games. However, I have found out that PvAI, the games don't tend to last very long. They last on average about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you're going to use that purely just to level yourself and your heroes up, probably not a bad way to go, because you can use your higher level cards and just really kind of go for it. However, be careful, because some of the strengths of the enemies can get a little bit ridiculous, and you need to make sure that your team isn't basically just playing for kills as well, which happens a lot in this game. So yeah, there is a lot of different things. One things that, like I said, a few of the things that you need to keep in mind: look out for things like Cursed, where cards cannot be equipped, because if once you equip that card, you are stuck with it until the end of the game. It doesn't unequip on death. It doesn't unequip at any point. So then you also have things like your consumables. You also have your combustibles, things like that. So just bear those in mind when you're building your decks. And also have a good look around your gems. Decide which gems you're going to use. You can do it one of two ways. You can either think, right, okay, I'm going to use these 6 gems, and then I'm going to build this deck around it. Or you can do it the other way around. I'm going to build this deck, and I'm going to include these gems just to give it that little bit of a boost. Like I said, the costs, very, very different. Everything from 200 gold right the way up to the 13, 14 attribute points and above. Can I just quickly grab that? Will it let me? Yep, there we go. As you can see, that one costs a total of 24 attribute points. It's 8 on each attribute. That one's only 13, so is that. And then that one's 13, 10, 13, 13. So as you can see, the higher up you go, these are sorted by cost, so we have the most expensive ones at the bottom. But earlier game, you're definitely looking to buy those earlier cards, but ones that are also going to give you that advantage. There's a lot of different things in game, so we're going to get to that in a second. But obviously, bear in mind, guys, that you have your knowledge cards, so that get rid of the death ones. These are all your knowledge. As you can see there, you've got some power in there. Mana, also by looks into ability armor, mana regen. These are quite sort of mana and ability based, I would say. And then if you look at the order ones, for example, overhealing shields, which shields allies, as well as yourself, things like that. Shielding strikes, you gain shield equal to 20% of basic damage dealt. So it is very, very sort of support orientated. If you have a look at the death ones, these can be quite high damage. Some of them, like this one, you have to be careful with, because it deals 85 ability damage to both yourself and the nearby enemy units. So you have to be careful about that. And it's also per second. So I don't know how long that lasts. It doesn't actually say it on it. It just says deal ability damage and ability damage. However, I don't know if the per second applies to yourself or whether that is just to the enemy units. This one has a slow movement speed aura, which will obviously reduce the speed of nearby enemies, and that will definitely help you to take them out if you're using somebody like Countess or Kalari. Sacrificial Link, the list goes on, and yeah, just take these things in mind, have a really good look around them. decide on which 2 affinities you want to use, and then find the best cards for you within those affinities. Or better yet, work out which cards are best for you. If you have them across multiple affinities, then decides which 2 affinities are going to suit you best, and go from there. So that's everything sort of on the outside. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to go find us a game. I'm going to play PvAI so that you can see the speed of it. I am probably going to be playing as Wraith as opposed to Countess, but you will see some of the upgrades. I do have a deck pre-built, as you just saw, and this deck ranges. It's a Knowledge and Death deck, and this one ranges from things like helping you earn gold to earning mana and things like that. It does also have the Rejuvenator card in there. Hang on, I've actually got a card missing in my deck now, so I have to try and figure out which one it is. So this should be interesting. Oh, it's actually that one. So that's fine. So we're just going to finish that off. Okay, so I'm going to go get us a game, guys, and I will be back in a few moments. Okay, so we're back, guys, and we're just loading into the game now. We've just finished the draft. I did manage to get Wraith, so that's a good start. As you can see, you've got your gold counter up there on the left. The players on my team so that's my deck that I've currently used. And we're going to use Font of Experience to get started. You can do that. Also now, on the PlayStation especially, you press in your touchpad. And I've actually just activated the wrong one, never mind. So we've got 2 on that way. It looks like we've got no mid laner, so that's where I'm going to go. Let's hit this. Whee! Okay. So I'm going to be mid laning for us. Better looks of things, we've got Wukong in the jungle. Murdoch on the left, and then Sevarog and Barrow on the right. Sorry guys, mine went blank there for a second. So depending on what the enemy team's going to do, this could give us a bit of help. But as you can see, oh, it looks like we've got Shimby. I don't really know what she's doing, but okay. What the hell? Why is he out? Dude, really? Oh, never mind. She's already gone past it. So we're already on her tower there, so we're just going to put a couple of cheap shots in. Just while she's attacking the minions. Ow. Oh, and there's Grux. Bye, Grux. Off you go. Dude. And you're dead. So we got that one. And definitely going to need that next. So I probably should try and get out of it now, but... Damn it. Almost had him, but not quite. But that's fine, because we're going to recall in a second. See if we can run up a bit while he's recalling. Boom! You're gone. There we go. So our jungle is doing a little bit of work, so we're getting some points going. And I'm going to recall. Got quite a few minions there, so we're not doing too badly. So as you can see, we've got almost 2,000 points by the time we get back there. Hopefully we should. There you go. Have the 2,000, so I can now get 2 attribute points, and I'm going to spend it on that one and that one. I can now buy that card, and this one should help us out considerably. So now one of our cards, or one of our attributes I should say, now gives us healing towers. So every time I'm near a tower, including enemy structures, it also increases my healing. I also heal when I level up and stuff like that as well. So we're doing a little bit more damage, nothing major, just sort of enough to keep us going. And yeah, I mean, the game's not going too bad so far. Got 2 deaths, 0 kills. As you can see, we've got the new cards showing on the left, so you can see exactly which cards you're using and when. Back off a bit, because these are going to start getting hit. As always, your abilities haven't really changed that much. So if I use my sniper shot to kill a enemy unit, including minions, you can get sodded. And you're down. So that was nice and easy. We've now got our ultimate. Rather than hitting the tower, just going to hit some minions. Just get us a few extra gold. Because right now I'm not too bothered about how quickly the game's over. So I'm just trying to show you guys the different attributes and stuff like that. Do a little bit of damage. Probably going to end up taking this tower here, but not likely with only 3 minions. They have reworked the way that damages, towers and inhibitors deal damage and stuff like that. They've definitely reworked all that sort of stuff. Really? She's just sending that thing everywhere. I know it's AI, but... Damn, I missed. It's not that long range, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would... oh, shoot. As you can see, towers now deal quite a significant amount of damage. But I do get mana health regen while I'm in there. So it doesn't really hurt quite as much. But I've got to be careful. Get that upgraded. We've got nearly another 2,000 points there, so... take this thing out. Oh, wasted that. Ah, well, we'll hit the tower then. We're going to jump back in a few seconds. As you can see, all the time I'm stood here attacking this, I'm getting health and mana back. But we'll back off now. So I have got Grux on me, but he's kind of pathetic at the moment. We're not going to wipe him out. Let's see if we can hit Shimby a couple times. Don't think she's going to kill me at this point. And dead. And we're going to quickly recall. Go and increase ourselves a bit. That's 4 kills we've had so far, just staying on the mid lane. So this deck's working quite well. I am going to throw 2... 1 in that one. Okay, well, let's go. So as you can see, both my base health regen and mana regen have increased, and because of my healing towers, they're increasing even more. I can't see this game lasting a particularly long amount of time, just because of the simple fact that all 3 sides are completely dominating each other. Really? Is that what you wanted to do? And you are dead. So, yeah. He's well and truly gone bye-bye. I'm not quite sure why he keeps coming out of the jungle. Personally, he's just starting to get on my fucking nerves. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this tower. Pretty much all she wrote for that section. Nice and easy. Nice amount of gold for doing it. And we are going to jump back soon, go get some more attribute points, increase ourselves a bit. There we go. He's gone. And let's see if we can take out Grux as well while we're here. Oh, hi Grux. You have absolutely no mana, dude, so I'm gonna fuck you up. Boom. Oh, you little fuck. And he's done. Alright, so we've got 4,000 gold here, so we're definitely going to do a quick recall. See if we can give ourselves a nice little boost. Not quite sure what card to pick next. We'll have a look once we've done them. Let's have a look what we've got. One there. Tell you what. 2 in there. will enable us to use that. And we'll put one in each of those. There we go. We've got a little bit of a power increase because of one of our cards. We've also got health and mana increases. And we're dealing quite a significant amount of damage with our abilities now anyway. Okay. So yeah, that middle tower isn't going to last much longer. Just going to hit some minions. Ah! My minions didn't last long. Why did he sit outside the freaking tower? Yep. Come on. Come on, boys. Level up again. Boom, boom, boom. Think. Go, right, let's take out this tower. So as you can see, the attack speed has increased. It's not quite as drastic with Wraith as it is with Countess, but it's still pretty decent enough. Definitely making a difference. As you can see, we're pretty much just hitting the 10-minute mark, and we're already at the inhibitors. So, poke a little bit of damage into the inhibitor. Come on. Oh, hi, Ian. And you're there. Yeah, fortunately for me, AI aren't smart enough to send those back. And since she's just wasted it. Oh, shoot. What the? Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to happen. Okay. Did I get that or did he? Nope, he did. I'll back him up a bit here. And there we go. Double kill. I think you'll find I got the fucking kill on that. Go. Ah! Yep, just run into an inhibitor with no minions. That's a great idea. Right, let's do a quick recall. As you can see, this game isn't going to last very long, not at all. But it is still pretty good fun, not going to lie. So we're going to throw one there, one there, and one there. And, right, so can we get anything yet? Oh. So we'll unequip that, and then we'll equip that one. Oh, we can't equip that one, why? Really? Only got 2 available. That kind of sucks. So let's re-equip that. That's one good thing from these new decks is once you unequip a card, if you do it by mistake or on purpose, you can re-equip it at any point. It's not like you have to undo what you've just done. But yeah, overall it's not too bad. This game is about as good as over, I'd say, and it's only been 12 minutes, so you can't really test your decks very well. But if you just want to sort of have a little fun, jump in, test a hero out, maybe try out a couple of cards, see what you think, then by all means go for it. These guys on the right are about to get fucking ambushed, but I'm just going to sit here and kill some minions. Ooh! And inhibitor time. But as you can see, the amount of damage dealt to inhibitors has dropped considerably. I don't really consider this to be too much of a problem. And he's done. So yeah, we're on 9 kills, 0 deaths right now. Kind of getting chased by minions a little bit. Get rid of that, and then we can mana back. Oh, she's fucked off. Apparently I can... Yeah. Bye. Boop. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay. Kill these guys. So yeah, as you can see guys, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit quicker, it's much higher pace. And the way the economy works is a little bit more complicated. But I suppose if you do a little bit of research before you start building, then you probably won't do too badly. We'll just take this out for good measure. And the core's already getting shit all over anyway. Oh, and we've got the orb prime as well. While I've been up here just taking out these, they pretty much guaranteed us the win. There goes the inhibitor. It looks like I'm pretty sure now everybody has the same prime thing. The prime buff is exactly the same for everybody. Oh, never mind. Didn't actually need that. I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, well, it's just screw the core. Pretty much done now anyway. Only ended up buying like 3 cards, but it was good fun. As you can see, like I say, it's very, very different. But I hope you've enjoyed this overall. We'll just take a look at what bonuses I get for that. I hope this has helped you out and helped you understand a little bit of what's going on, why it's so different, things like that. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, guys, please remember to rate and subscribe, because everything you do to help me helps me to bring out better content for you guys. I love making content, so at the end of the day, if you guys enjoy it, then I'm happy to do it. Oh, there we go, we got a level up there, so we've got another card. And no, that's all for that one. And we just got another 2 stars as well. Happy days. And yeah, we actually got 9 stars for that in total. Wasn't bad doing. And there we go. So we're getting a silver chest next time at least. Yeah, so I'm going to keep an eye on things, guys. If anything changes, I will definitely let you guys know. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do, please remember to hit rate and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.